Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back here with Countryside Living with me, Tracee Leigh, and welcome back. Thank you for being here. It's a little bit noisy out here today. It's not too quiet of a day, but it sure is beautiful. A little bit on the warm side, but I'm sitting under my live oak tree where I've got some good shade. So don't mind the noise. All of the aircraft flying around and all of the traffic out on the highway out here. So today I wanted to dig into Garden Care 101. And before we do that, I want to give y'all an update on lasagna garden that I've been working with. The corn is doing really good. Everything is still growing. I put up a temporary fence. We have had a lot of rain. Last week it probably rained for about 7 days straight. And so everything is starting to dry out. We've got sunshine and warmer temperatures. But I did notice that the plants are turning yellow. Now that is because of all of the water. And so today I'm going to talk about some plant care, and hopefully you guys can take something from this and be able to use it in your own gardens. So let's go ahead and dig in. So today we're going to talk about Garden Care 101. We're going to identify diseases, pests, and solutions for a healthy garden. Garden plants can face a variety of challenges, as we all know that, especially here in the Southeast, including disease and pest infestations, which can impact their health and their productivity. Understanding these types of issues can arise and how to address them is essential for maintaining a thriving garden. So types of garden pests that we're going to talk about. Garden pests can develop diseases, okay? I'm sorry, garden plants. And got a little bit distracted there. I had some ants crawling on me. But garden plants can develop diseases caused by fungi, bacteria, viruses, and environmental stress. Ain't that something? That's just like us humans, huh? How about that? So we're going to talk about fungal diseases. It includes the powdery mildew, which is a white powdery spots that you get on the leaves, and rust, which is like an orange-brown spot. And they often thrive in humid conditions. I tell you what, I have had to deal with that a lot here in the Southeast. They grew all over my squash plants, the leaves and everything, and I had a hard time with that. So that I'm very familiar with. Bacterial diseases can cause water-soaked spots, a slimy decay, or a blackened stems, as seen in bacterial wilt or blight. I've not had to deal with that much here in the Southeast, but I have seen it before. Viral infections, or viral diseases, I should say, they lead to molted or distorted leaves, stunt growth, or unusual color patterns, such as in a tomato mesic virus. I don't believe that. Yes, I have seen that before. It looks like, because tomato plants do not like cold, and if the frost gets to it, how it'll just draw up and shrivel up and look burnt. So I have seen that before in tomato plants. And then there are root diseases like root rot, often caused by overwatering, resulting in wilting, yellowing leaves, and decayed roots. I think that that's what's going on with my plants. I pray not. I pray not. I was really worried about that with all of the rain. Another thing that pests can also cause a lot of these different issues as well. And signs of the plant distress, including the yellowing leaves, that's an indication of nutrient deficiencies, overwatering, or root disease. Spots or discoloration suggest a fungi or a bacterial infection in the plant. Wilting or drooping, linked to root problems or vascular diseases. Stunt growth caused by poor soil, pests, and viruses. And also mold and fuzzy growth, which signals fungal issues like gray mold. So types of garden pests that we're going to talk about are pests are often common challenges in the garden, and each with specific behaviors and life cycles. And tomato horn worms, I have dealt with those with my tomatoes, and every year they've taken out a whole crop of my tomatoes before. And so to describe them, they are large green caterpillar looking worms, and they feed on the tomato plants, and they are the larvae of a hawk or sphinx moth, which lay eggs on the plants. I think that is a white looking moth. I know that if you see a moth flying around in your garden and it's laying eggs, it's going to produce these larvae, these worms. So another thing that pests that are in the garden are soft-bodied insects. They suck the sap from the plants, often found in clusters on new growth. And they reproduce quickly and are sometimes farmed by ants for honeydew. I was looking to see what Hannah was doing. She was moving around a lot. Just got to keep a watchful eye out here for snakes, you know. I still ain't calmed down over that incident, y'all. Sorry for the distraction. Cabbage worms. Now, those are green caterpillars of cabbage white butterflies. There we go. So, the white butterflies, they do cause the green caterpillar worms, but it's not the tomato hookworm. So, I had that confused, those two confused. But the caterpillar white butterflies, the caterpillars of a white butterfly, and they lay their eggs and eat holes in the leaves. I have dealt with that too numerous times. And you've got squash bugs, which are flat brown bugs. They feed on squash and pumpkin plants, causing wilting and yellowing. And they lay bronze color eggs, clusters on the leaves on the underside of them. And then, and also the squash bugs, they will cause the plant to turn yellow. So, you know, you might think that, my plants had too much water, and make sure you check the back side of the leaves for those eggs. Another thing is the Japanese beetles. They are a green, metallic, and copper beetle that skeletonize leaves. Their grubs feed on plant roots before emerging as adults. I know one year at the other house that we used to live in a couple years ago, we had an infestation of those Japanese beetles. So I just bought some of the traps that I got at Tractor Supply and put them out to catch all of them to save my crop. So, gardening for me has been over the years a learning process, And I've had to deal with quite a bit of these issues that we're talking about today. Cutworms, they are caterpillars also that cut down young plants at the base by feeding on the stems at night. They are the larvae of several moth species. So, yeah, you see any moths in your garden, keep an eye out for these caterpillar type worms on your plants. Slugs and snails, and they're going to chew irregular holes in leaves and thrive. They're going to thrive in moist, shady conditions. Spider mites, I've seen those, and they suck plant juices, which cause yellow speckles on leaves, and they thrive in hot, dry environments. White flies, a small white flying insect that suck sap and excrete honeydew, leading to sooty mold. They lay eggs on leaf undersides. Flea beetles. They are tiny jumping beetles that create a small hole or pit in leaves, especially on young plants like eggplant and radishes. I don't believe that I have seen those. So, to address these garden problems, you need to manage the disease and pest effectively, and take the following steps. This is what you can do. Identify the problem. Observe symptoms to determine whether the issue is fungal, bacterial, viral, or pest related. Improve the plant care. Water properly to avoid overwatering and to keep the foliage dry. I think they're sunning out there, enjoying the sun. Another thing is ensure good drainage soil, that it's draining good, and space your plants adequately for air circulation. Some people just plant too close together. And another thing you want to do is just go ahead and remove the infected parts of the plant, prune and discard the affected leaves, the stems, or fruits, and disinfect tools between cuts. So here are some natural remedies that you can use. Neem oil. I love neem oil. It's effective against fungal and pest issues. Spray it on affected plants. And you can use baking soda solution. Mix it with water and some soap, and it can combat the powdery mildew. Strengthen soil health with compost tea or beneficial microbes. So you want, as far as applying the treatments, for several cases, use organic or chemically fungicide or bactericides labeled for specific problems, following instructions carefully. For me, I like to go all organic, all natural. That's what I like. Stay away from chemicals, but that's my preference. And prevention of all of this in the future is just rotate your crops to reduce disease buildup in the soil. Inspect plants regularly for early signs of distress. Use disease-resistant plant varieties when possible. And maintain garden cleanliness by removing debris and weeds that harbor pest and disease. So, by understanding these types of disease and the pests that we just talked about, that can affect our garden plants and our soil, and recognizing the early signs of distress and implementing targeted care and prevention strategies, us gardeners can protect our plants and ensure a healthy, productive garden. This is a holistic approach, not only addresses immediate issues, but also fosters a long-term resilience. And I am going to put a recipe or how to mix your neem. Either you can get neem in cake form, which is like a powdered form. They call it neem cakes. And also you can get neem oil, which is 100% organic, cold pressed. And so I've got each one of those, and you can make a spray up with those, and I'm going to put how to do that in the description box below, and I'll even link where you can buy it from. So I hope you found value in this today, and I hope that this helps your garden. I know I'm going to put all of this to practice. Like I said, I've been learning for the past couple years on gardening, so I'm still learning as I go, and we can learn together. So you all have a beautiful, blessed day today, and I'll see you next time here in the countryside. Bye, y'all. This is my corn. Just giving y'all a quick garden update. It's starting to finally dry out. We had a lot of rain last week for about 7 days. Everything's looks a little yellow to me. So we will keep an eye on that. The tomatoes right here are looking really good. I put some cages around them. Looking real good. Let's take a look at the other plants. Looks like the squashes, the leaves are turning a little yellow, but they're starting to climb up on that net trellis that I put in. The peppers look really good. They're doing good. Some of the tomato plants are still a little bit stunted in growth. They're growing. Those were planted last, so those are new seedlings compared to the other ones. But I've got 4 different varieties of peppers. The green beans over there, they're doing really good. The potatoes are doing awesome. I mean, they are really coming along really good.